Hey everybody, what is going on and welcome back to my Disney Plus update video. So we've finally gotten a full list of all the shows that are going to be leaving both Hulu and Disney Plus. I've got them here on my screen. They come from The Verge, so I will be putting the link to that in the description if you want to take a look over at their site for the time being. I've just got them here in a document. So I'm going to just go ahead and scroll through them real quick so you guys can get a look at what's going to be leaving both platforms. This comes after they've said they're going to be removing content. Now, whether or not these are movies and or TV shows, I don't 100% know. I do know, as you can see down here, they are getting rid of the Artemis Fowl. I assume it's the movie. I thought there was a TV series that they were in talks about making, but whether or not that is it, I don't know. So yeah. And then this is the Hulu content that is going to be leaving. It's very small list, but I know that The Quest and Why the Last Man were somewhat popular, as well as the Willow series. I heard that the Willow series just wrapped up in January, so it's kind of surprising to see it leaving. But the fact that it got even a season, I think it only just had the one season, it's it's nice for the fans that wanted more from the movie. Um, Now, I will say that it is disappointing to see Disney removing content from their platforms, considering that they're already struggling to have content on Disney Plus, but I think that they're going in the right direction by combining both Hulu and Disney Plus into one streaming service. The problem that I have is that from what I gather, they're going to still charge two separate prices. But I think that if they did something like HBO Max did, and they charged 15 a month for a single service, you would be getting a lot of bang for your buck, and that's what consumers are looking for. That's what people that are looking for at streaming platforms are looking for. Where can I get the most bang for my buck? Now, right now they do offer a Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus combo package. I don't know how much it is. Probably a little bit more than what most people want to pay for. But I think that if they offered like a $15 ad free Hulu plus Disney um, streaming package, that's something that consumers and fans would probably be interested in coming back for. I think at the moment there's just not enough adult content there on Disney Plus for adults to want to stick around. The shows are few and far between. Most of the adult content is mostly the Star Wars stuff and the MCU, but recently that's kind of where they've been faltering is with their Marvel movies and their Disney movies, which has been their bread and butter literally for the last 15 years. And well, Disney bread and butter has always been their Disney movies, but I feel like that's really one of the areas they've been lacking is Disney movies with like rewatchability. Like you could rewatch The Lion King a million times. You could rewatch Aladdin a million times. You could rewatch Mulan, Hercules. I could go on. I could go on with all the Disney movies you could rewatch, as well as Pixar stuff. You get Toy Story. You get Cars. Although to be fair, only the first Cars. I thought the second one was kind of weird, but not terrible. But anyway, I think that they've really been fumbling the recent content they've been coming out with. I think these last couple of movies outside of Black Panther 2 could have been TV shows instead and probably would have been a lot more successful. I think I mentioned that in my last video. But overall, it is disheartening to see that they're getting rid of a bunch of content when that's something that people have been complaining about them not having is enough content on their platform, which is probably one of the reasons they've gone in the direction of wanting to combine both Hulu and Disney Plus into one streaming service. Overall, I hope this is something good, kind of like what happened with HBO Max. They've got a bunch of TV shows there. They've got tons of adult content. And so, you could look at it from the side of they want to cater more towards kids in the US, which is what I have heard is the case because outside of the US, apparently Disney Plus has a lot more they apparently have Fox as well, so they have a lot more Fox content on their service, which I don't think we have very much of at all on in the US. So I would be interested to get on a VPN to see what kind of content Disney Plus gets outside of the US. which I haven't done. So I'm taking people's word for it that that is what they do. That I'm taking people's word for it that they have all this extra content outside the U.S. Which the my point being that it's adults paying for Disney Plus, not kids. So most of the people that are going to be paying for Disney Plus are going to be adults with kids, and there's just not as many people having kids these days. And people that are having kids, most of them just watch YouTube content. I'll be honest, there is a ton of kids content on YouTube. There's a whole kids section on YouTube. Let me go ahead and bring it up here. Like there is a whole YouTube kids as you can tell, there is a whole kids section for YouTube, and I'm not really sure exactly why an adult would want to pay for it. Besides maybe the Star Wars TV shows, or if you want to watch some of the MCU TV shows, I highly recommend Loki. It was fantastic, and Loki is an example of why I think that the movies like the Doctor Strange movie and Quantumania could have been TV shows. And I think that they would have been better off that way because you could have passed off the lower quality and lower budget CGI as okay, it's a TV show. We're kind of lowering the budget here to get these done. But instead, they put them out as movies, which I didn't mind the quality of the movies. I thought they were decent. There were some moments where I was like, ooh, that doesn't look too good. But a lot of people had that as a complaint. A lot of people complained about the quality of the CGI. Like I said, I think if they would have been TV shows, which they were already doing anyway, they were doing TV shows that tied into the movies, um, that they would have been better off. Movie companies seem to understand how to do Spider-Man movies and how to do, and they understood how to do the main, the first two phases of the MCU, ending in Endgame. But it seems like they've kind of lost their way post Endgame. They don't really know what to do. They had obviously the quantum realm was their next big leap, but it seems like they've been really fumbling that. Also, the Jonathan Major situation has not been. It's really not their fault, but it's an unfortunate situation they've had to deal with. And overall, I just think that the quality of the movies has dropped significantly, which means that people are going to be less interested in what Disney has to offer. So, just kind of something that I wanted to talk about. And wanted to do a little follow up to my previous video where I talked about all this news that had come out about Disney. I still think it's an L here for Disney, but like I said, if they were to combine both services together and maybe like a $15 a month ad free subscription where you get both the Disney Plus content and the Hulu content, I think you would see a lot more subscribers come back to Disney. And then even if they offered like a $25 plan that included the Hulu Live TV, Hulu and Disney Plus, I think you'd see a lot more people come back and pay for that. But in my opinion, there's just not enough there for me to subscribe to Disney Plus. I get plenty of content through Prime Video. There's other subscriptions you can get through Prime Video. There's like a Nickelodeon one that you can get Paramount Plus through Prime Video. Um, and Netflix, I get plenty through that. And of course, YouTube. I watch tons of stuff on YouTube. I get plenty of content through that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I had to talk about in this video. It's disappointing that we're losing all of these shows off of Netflix and Hulu, but to be fair, like I said, I don't really watch these platforms anymore. I watched Disney for The Mandalorian, and that was it. I'm kind of hoping they do an Ahsoka TV show, because if they do an Ahsoka show, I would be interested in coming back and watching it. But my dad is a huge Star Wars fan. He loves watching the Clone Wars shows and Rebels and things like that. So if you're big fans of that of Star Wars, there's plenty of content there for you. Outside of that, I think it's unfortunate that there's really not a lot of stuff there for adults. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching.